I've long accepted that I'm part Egyptian. I live by denial. I've been retired about a year now, a little over a year, and my life has been sedentary. Social media, my life is perfect, but walking and things. And you need to do that because of, heart failure and the whole 9 yards. So I started walking last week, a little bit. So I contacted a friend who I haven't seen, and it turned out he lived in an apartment complex that I used to live in probably about 16, 17 years ago. And of course, he lives in the far corner. So I've got off the bus and walked the equivalent of about 2.5 blocks behind where he lives in this large apartment complex. So we got together, hugged, chopped it up. I'm divorced, he's divorced. And lately that's been a thing. Um, but his two girls are living with him, and so who are huge. And so after a while, I was there several hours, hugs and games and laughter and TV and the fun visit. But it's it gets cold this time of year in Sacramento at night. So I said, no, let me get my big ass home before I get really cold. So I'm walking, and there's a hole in the fence behind the Bel Air store. And it's like a freeway. People are going through it, back and forth, back and forth. Now I'm sizing it up. You know where I'm going, right? I'm sizing it up, and I'm going to myself, if I bring in my ass and suck in my stomach, I could possibly get that hole. And then I save like a block walk, at least two blocks. So it's a high traffic area. And I get in and I try to go with my little backpack, and that wasn't working. And then I held my backpack out and I got my shoulder in, but I can't get in this. I can't get in this thing. So I thought, well, what the heck? They don't know me. There's no cameras. What if I knock this little panel off and I can see if I can get in? Meanwhile, there are people on the other side trying to get in, and I I went this way, and I'm stuck. So, being the person that I am, I went, I'm sorry, it's going to take a second. I got a cramp. So, I hear the fence. I'm trying to get my big ass out. Did I tell you I'm over 350 pounds? I left that out. All right. All right. So the fence is now moving. I realized at this point I could actually take the whole section out, which would bring attention to me, but would make it easier for the neighbors and people who go into the into the supermarket. And there was somebody else now behind me. There are two people, a little girl and her mother. She goes, his fat ass is stuck. And I wanted to say, your mama, bitch. But I didn't because I'm a Christian. And so the people on the other are you stuck? Well, we can help push you. And the little girl, I looked back, and the little girl with the one who made that rude comment, rude and accurate, but I'm not going to let her know, is sitting there with attitude. I ain't going to help him move. So people are now pushing me, and some are pulling me. There's no direction. The panel of the fence is getting weaker by the second. And I sort of decided that if this section comes out, I'm just going to pass out and pretend I have a heart attack because I'm at that age. or maybe pretend that I had a stroke. That way, they may take pity on me at my advanced age. So they pull me out somehow, push, pull, twist, suck it in. I can't breathe anymore. Um, I think I got a splinter in my titty. It's not pretty. And they get me out, and somehow my shoe comes off. So they rush in, and I'm going, "Can you hand me my shoe?" And they like looked at me and kept walking. If I got on my knees, I'm not getting up. So I'm sitting there, and I asked the girl, little girl, I said, "Sweetie, can you get my shoe for me?" And she walked through the fence and threw it towards the store. And I'm going, "You little..." And she looked at me, smiled, and threw it back over the fence. Needless to say, I won't be visiting my friend again unless it's someplace transit friendly, maybe like a Taco Bell or something like that, because I may wind up tonight someplace on YouTube stuck between a fence, hoping that people don't recognize me. But it's difficult to ignore someone who's 6'4" and over 350 pounds in a fence that's just wide enough for somebody about 180. That's my story. If you did film it, I'm going to find you and I'm going to eat at your house. It's a Rod Father. I mean it. Don't play me. Wish you love, joy, peace, and happiness. Bite me.